Wait, who?
I've been meaning to tell you.
Yeah. Wait, who?
The guy who rides the bike. The older guy.
Am I in focus? The long and the short is we have no idea. No one knows. Hey, hi. Without your Patreon contributions, Common Bond wouldn't be here today. My name is Benjamin. And if you look at the paper, it's not working. It's not working for a lot of people. I'm the owner of Common Bond Yoga, and we all walk around with that vulnerability every day. And as many as 50% of small businesses won't survive to the other side of this. I was chatting with a student just the other night, and I'm fine. Like, we hate change, or at least we talk about hating change. But what we're building, this is about more than me. We adapt, we grow, and that's why we've made the Patron Saints campaign. That's what gets us through all of these gray areas, these dark places, so that together as a community, Common Bond will continue to survive yoga, mindfulness, breath, meditation, and connection. Now, if you're a person that has been touched by something that Common Bond, share this video, share a post, share a YouTube video with a friend, and ask them to become a patron saint. Your support, their support, will help us keep growing. And then we'll figure out what's next.
But I don't want to do it at home because as soon as I get tired, I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Being at home is too easy to
I
have.
need someone here suffering with me.
Right. And someone watching you and going, "Nah."
It makes such a big difference.
There's fun all of that.
12-hour shift.
We might bring it back, but that with the math, like,
I just bought this thing on Amazon that it looks like it's silicone, so you can wash it, but it sticks your mask out like
a little
this.
further.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen those.
Yeah.
Because my kids are playing soccer and they're dying.
Right.
So,
To help you breathe.
yeah. I
Okay.
just bought some. I'll get them Friday.
Yeah,
So you
yeah,
throw
cool.
them in the dishwasher and wash them,
Okay.
and then they just make your mask stick out so there's more air circulation.
Oh,
Cool.
that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I'd like to know how you like it.
People are developing more litter capacity to speak.
All right.
We're on. All right, welcome. Do y'all have any special requests before we get started? Neck and shoulders, of course. Always. Okay. This is a slow flow class, so we are going to move a little slower. I will always show you modifications to make things less challenging. I've got a room full of ladies that like to push themselves. So I'm going to show you options if you want to make it a little more challenging as well. But we are going to get started in a child's pose. So if you have a block, you can always use a block or a blanket. Those are nice tools. So as you come into your child's pose, situate yourself so that you're comfortable. So you might go a little wider with your knees. You might put a block underneath your head. And you can have your arms forward, or you can have your hands back by your heels, knees together, whatever you like. And just begin to slow down your breath. Rock your head a couple of times from side to side, rocking across the forehead. And just very gradually continue with each breath to slow it down more, and to, with each inhale, bring a little more breath in to the lungs, and with each exhale, try to exhale a little bit more. And so that your breath starts to become more powerful and more intentional, especially on the exhale side of the breath. As you exhale, really draw your navel back and in towards your spine. And as you inhale, let your breath expand into your back. So you start to feel your body just rising and falling and expanding and contracting. And I always say that your breath is really one of the most important things, if not the most important part of your practice. It gives you the ability to focus. So when you get distracted, just focus on your breath. And it gives you energy, it gives you strength, and it allows you to relax too. So we're looking to find that balance, not only in our practice, but in everything that we do, between effort and ease, doing things in a way where we're strong and we're stable, but we're also relaxed. We're not creating stress and tension in our body and in our lives, in our minds. So again, when things get challenging, when you get distracted, just come back to your breath. And so if your arms aren't out in front of you, go ahead and bring them out in front of you now. And walk your hands over to the right. And stretch your hips back towards your left heel. And if you want, walk your right hand all the way back, and you can bring your right arm behind your back. Your right heel and give it a gentle pull. And really stretch through that left side body. Send your breath into the left side. So you're creating, here's another thing that your breath can do. Create space with your breath on that left side of the body. And then walk your hands back to center and over to the left. Press your right hip back towards the right heel. Make sure that right arm is really active. You're pushing down into the hand and lifting the elbow and the armpit up away from the floor. Breathe into the right side body. Good, and then walk your hands back to center. And come up to your tabletop. And spread your fingers really wide. We're going to take the right hand behind the head, and I want you to back your hips up just a little bit behind your knees, and we'll do a little bit of twisting through the middle back and the upper back. So on your inhale, twist to the right, and really bring your elbow back as far, and as you exhale, twist to the left, and just kind of point your elbow underneath you. And then do that again. Inhale, twist open to the right, and exhale, twist to the left. This time, inhale, twist open to the right, and stretch your right arm up to the sky. Reach back a little bit further. And now thread the needle. Reach all the way through and under. Settle down onto the side of your head and onto that shoulder, and breathe. Now create space around the back of your right shoulder. Breathing there. Now, you can stay here if you want to add a little bit of balance to this. You can stretch your left leg back behind you and lift your left leg up towards the sky. Make sure you can still breathe fully, deeply, staying relaxed. And then if your leg is up, you can bring it down. And we'll unravel. And you can open up one more time, twist to the right, reach up, and bring your right hand back down into your tabletop. And we'll do that on the other side. So take your left hand behind your head, back your hips up just a little bit, and that helps to keep you out of your low back when we're twisting. On your inhale, twist, open to the left, elbow back as far as you can take it. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, fill your lungs. fill, 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 and pause at the top. And then exhale, empty, 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 pause at the bottom. Last time, inhale, twist open to the left and stretch your left arm up to the sky. And as you exhale, thread your needle. Reach through, settle in, breathe. And this time, if you want, you can stretch that right leg back, lift the leg up. Fill your lungs, empty your lungs. And bring your leg back down if it's up. And unravel, inhale. Reach. And come back to your tabletop. Good, now tuck your toes. Inhale, lift your chest up, so come into a cow pose. And as you exhale, round the spine, pull the belly up and in, push the floor away from you. Inhale and extend. And exhale to round. One more time like that. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale. Now come back to a neutral spine. Stretch your right leg back behind you. Keep your hands down on the mat. And now on the inhale, we're going to come back into that cow pose, but we're going to lift the right leg up away from the mat. And then exhale and bring your knee back down and round your spine. And now do that on the other side. Inhale, cow pose, lift your left leg up. Exhale, bring the knee round. Do that again, right leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, bring the knee down. Inhale, lift the left leg, extend through the spine. Exhale, bring the knee down. Now this time, inhale, reach your right leg up and your left arm forward. And as you exhale, bring your knee and your hand down. Inhale, left leg, right arm. Exhale and down. This time, inhale, right leg lifts, left arm lifts. Stay here. And as you exhale, bring your elbow towards your knee. So adding more balance here. Inhale, same leg, same arm. Extend. And exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale. And last time, bring your elbow to your knee. Reach your arm and your leg long one more time. And bring your hand and your knee down to the mat. Take your left leg back. Lift the leg, lift the right arm up this time. As you exhale, bring your elbow to your knee. Inhale and extend. And exhale. So as we're moving here, we're trying to keep that right hip and left shoulder stable. Inhale, extend. And exhale, elbow to knee. Last time, reach long. And come back to your tabletop. Now, once again, tuck your toes. And we're going to send the hips back towards the heels for pranam, or child's pose with your toes tucked. So send your hips back. And this is a very active child's pose. So you're really pushing down through your hands and lifting your elbows and your armpits up away from the floor. Now, what I want you to feel as you're in this posture is that you're externally rotating your arm bones a little bit, and it feels like you're trying to press the tops of your shoulder blades apart from one another while you're trying to bring the bottom tips of your shoulder blades towards one another, okay? Now, keep that same action in the arms and in the shoulders, but bring your palms down onto the mat. Now, push off from your feet and come forward towards a plank position. Now, you can do this on your knees. And now go back into your pranam. Stretch your hips back to your heels. On your inhale, come forward to your plank or your modified plank. And exhale, send your hips back towards your heels. Inhale, come forward to plank. And exhale, hips to heels. This time, come forward into plank or modified plank and stay here. Okay, so either from the knees or from the toes. Keep your belly lifted. Keep your upper back broad, shoulders stable, full breath, and tuck your chin a little bit so the back of your neck stays long. Now we're going to come onto our forearms and stay in your plank or your modified plank, knees down. Breathe. And lower all the way down into Sphinx pose. So bring your elbows out in front of you more. Pull your chest through your hands. Stretch your legs back out of your hips. If you want, you can bring your chin down towards your chest. If that feels good for your neck, you can rock your head slowly from side to side. And come all the way down onto your back. Hug your elbows in by your sides. Pull your belly up away from the floor and either push up through a tabletop or through a modified plank or maybe a full plank. And we'll go back into our first downward facing dog. And bend your knees a little bit or a lot and really stretch your hips back behind you. Stretch out through your arms. You want to do the same thing with your shoulder blades and your arms where the upper back is broad. Press the shoulder blades, the top apart, bring the bottom tips together. Now walk your hands back to your feet and find yourself here in a nice forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need to. You can cross your arms or grab onto the elbows. Breathe, relax your head down. And now begin to sway your body from side to side, shifting your weight a little more towards one heel and then the other heel. And now sway over to the left and come all the way up, still holding on to the elbows. Come up through the top of a circle and then circle back down to the right. And make sure your knees stay soft when you're doing this. Inhale, circle up to the left. Elbows high at the top and exhale, circle down. And one more time, inhale. And exhale and circle down. We'll get the other side in a minute. On your inhale, bring your hands to your shins and lift halfway up. Straighten your back. So make sure that you're really reaching your sitting bones back and you're reaching the crown of your head forward. And as you exhale, fold in. Let's do that again. Inhale, lift halfway up, straighten your back. You can put your hands on a block here as well. And as you exhale, fold forward, navel to spine. One more time, inhale, lift halfway. And exhale. Now hold your exhale out, and with strong legs, come all the way up to standing. So you can roll up through your back to come up. You can come up with a straight spine, take your arms over your head, and bring your hands down to your heart center, Tadasana mountain pose. Inhale, reach up. And as you exhale, twist to the left and reach your left arm back and your right arm forward and look back. On your inhale, come back to center. Reach up a little bit taller. Exhale, twist to the right. Do that again. Inhale, back to center. Twist left. Exhale. Inhale, back to center. And twist to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Dive forward. Cross your arms again or grab onto your elbows. Sway from side to side. Sway to the right and come up through a circle. Inhale, elbows high at the top. And exhale, circle down to the left. Again, inhale all the way up through the right side and circle down to the left. One more time like that. Inhale, rise up, and exhale. Let go of your elbows, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, plant your hands and walk forward to a plank position. You can always take your plank on your forearms instead of your hands if that works better for your wrists. And of course, you can always bring your knees down to modify your plank position. Now shift your weight forward just a little bit, and from your knees or from your toes, lower slowly, slowly, slowly all the way down onto your belly. Now point your toes and press the tops of your feet back down into the ground. Hug your elbows in, pull your chest forward, and then lift it up for a low cobra pose. So really actively here, pull yourself forward and stretch your legs back. So you're creating that traction. As you exhale, lower down. And do that again. Inhale, low cobra. Activate your legs. Push down into your feet. Pull your chest forward. Exhale to lower down. This time, 3-part cobra. On your inhale, low cobra first. On your exhale, come up a little bit higher. And just make sure that you're not locking your elbows and rounding your shoulders forward. So elbows back, shoulders back. As you exhale, 3-part exit, lower your belly, lower your chest, and lower your head. And we're going to do that one more time. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, come up a little higher. On your inhale, lift the chest up to the sky. And as you exhale, lower down slowly. And just pause for a moment. Breathe into your back. Deep and steady breaths. Prepare to push your body up. So elbows in, shoulders stable, spine and hips. Exhale, push yourself up to a modified plank, a full plank, tabletop, and then go back to your downward facing dog. And really reach and stretch through the arms, through the legs, through the spine. Now lift your heels and look up at your hands. And we're going to tiptoe. And I want you to try to keep your heels lifted so that we're working on some balance here. And maybe even just come up to the fingertips on your hands, or maybe grab onto your elbows again. And just breathe. And now with your heels still lifted up, halfway lift. Straighten your back, hands to the shins or to a block. And as you exhale, fold. And now come all the way to standing. Arms overhead. Woo! And bring your heels down and bring your hands to your heart center. Tadasana. On your inhale, arms overhead. And as you exhale, sit down into a chair pose and cactus your arms. So bring your elbows down, shoulders down the back. Got people falling over already. On your inhale, straighten your legs and reach your arms up. And as you exhale, sit back down into that chair pose, bend the arms. Now this time on your inhale, stand up and lift your right knee up. So just working on some balance. Stay here. I want you to think about, you might even feel like you're squeezing your left glute a little bit to help stabilize that left hip. And now softly sit back down into your chair pose. This time, lift the left knee up. Hold here, breathe. Hug that outer right hip in. And sit down into your chair pose. Once again, lift the right knee up. Hold here this time. Now you can keep the knee lifted. You can also make this a little more challenging by straightening the leg out. And then very slowly step all the way back into a high lunge. Now, if your neck and shoulders ever bother you, you can always put your hands on your hips. Try to relax the shoulders down the back. Lift your chest up to the sky. And then as you exhale, come into a runner's lunge and lean forward over your right leg. Stretch your arms back behind you and draw the shoulders back so the chest is open. On your inhale, sweep your arms forward and up. And as you exhale, sweep the arms back. Runner's lunge. One more time, inhale. Exhale, runner's lunge. Hold here. Now shift your weight forward over your left leg. Pick up your right leg. Whew. Now step your right foot next to your left foot and sit down into your chair pose. On your inhale, come all the way up to standing. And as you exhale, bring your hands to your heart center, Tadasana. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, sit back into your chair, cactus the arms. As you stand up, lift your left knee up this time. Hold here. You can also straighten out the leg. Breathe. So again, find that balance here between effort and ease. And now step all the way back as slow as you can, as softly as you can. Step that left foot all the way back behind you. Find your way into your high lunge. Again, you can give your arms a break if you want. Put your hands on your hips. So think about squaring the hips and engaging your outer hips and your inner thighs to help stabilize you here, especially as we start to move. So take an inhale, and as you exhale, find your runner's lunge. Shoulders back, chest open. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, lean forward. One more time, inhale. And exhale, lean forward. Hold. Slowly, slowly, slowly shift the weight. Float that back leg up. And the leg doesn't even have to come up. You can just lean more forward and just barely tap the toes back there. All right, step your left foot next to your right foot. Sit down into chair. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart center, Tadasana. Maybe close your eyes, just pause for a moment. Breathe. All right, put your hands on your hips. And we're gonna come into tree pose. So shift your weight over into your left foot. And you can bring your right foot, the heel to the left ankle. You can bring your foot to your calf. You can also bring it all the way up to the upper inner thigh. Just try not to place it directly against the knee. You can always use a wall and lightly touch it to give you a little more support. Push your foot into your leg and your leg back into your foot, and really let yourself stand up taller. Bring your arms up over your head. And then we're gonna take the hands behind the back and clasp the hands together. So draw the shoulders back, chest open. So you might keep your elbows bent quite a bit here to keep this openness through the chest. Now, try to keep your hips pointed straight ahead, arms behind the back as you step your right foot back again, this time for a warrior one stance. So that back foot is flat now. That heel is down, that foot is turned out at about a 45-degree angle. Try to bring the left hip back and the right hip forward and really push back through your back foot, the outer edge of your back foot. Now lift your chest up to the sky, inhale. And as you exhale, come forward for humble warrior. So again, we're leaning forward. You might just come forward a little bit. You might come down quite a bit. If that feels good in your body, always do what feels best to you. Make sure you're not collapsing in your hips. Try to relax your head down, tuck your chin, breathe. And now push into your feet and come all the way back up. Take your arms overhead. Inhale. As you exhale, bring your right elbow under your left elbow. So right arm under left arm. And then either bring your hands to your shoulders or take eagle arms and wrap the arms and press the hands together. Now, lean forward again. Start to transfer your weight. So lift that back heel up. We're going to step into the left leg and lift the right knee up and cross it over the left knee. So we're in eagle now. And you can always put your right toes down on the mat. So you've got a little bit more support that way. You can hover the right foot. You might be able to wrap your right foot behind your left leg, but try to keep your left hip forward and your right hip back. Breathe. Now, listen, slide your left leg all the way down in front of your right leg all the way down in front of your left leg, so the legs are crossed and the legs are straight. Take the arms up overhead. Grab onto your right wrist. Give that arm a little pull. And now bend over to the left. That back knee, that left knee wants to lock back probably, so try to keep a soft bend there. Inhale and come up. And now listen, keep your legs crossed, but dive forward. Take your time. And again, that back knee is going to want to lock. You can put your hands on a block here, or you can put your hands all the way down onto the mat. Breathe. And then if you want, walk your hands over to the right. So you get a little deeper stretch to that outer left hip. And then come back to center. And from here, just go ahead and uncross the legs. Inhale, lift halfway up, straight back. Exhale and fold. And rise all the way up to standing. Arms overhead. And bring your hands to your heart. Once again, close your eyes. Pause for a moment in stillness. And just feel where you are. Feel your feet. All right, let's do that on the other side. So hands go to hips. Tree pose. Shift your weight into your right leg this time. Left foot comes to the heel or to the calf or to the inner thigh. And push your foot into your leg and your leg back into your foot. And I want you to feel like you're pulling your pelvis up, because you are. Pull your pelvis up off of your thighs, away from your thighs. And stretch your arms up over your head. And breathe. And you fall out, you come back into it. It's all part of the practice. Bring your hands behind your back. Interlace the opposite way. Shoulders back, chest open. And try to keep your hips forward as you step the left foot back and place the heel flat. So you might go a little wider with your stance here to give your hips some room to move forward. Push into the outer edge of that back foot. Lift your chest up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale and begin to dive forward. Take your time, move slow. The slower you go, the more time you have to really feel each step. Maybe you go low, maybe you don't go as low. Tuck your chin. Breathe into the shoulders, into the chest. And then push into your feet. Engage your core as you rise up. Bring your arms over your head. This time, cross your left arm under your right arm. And hands go to shoulders or wrap the forearms. Inhale. Exhale. First, just lean forward. So again, slow motion. Pick up that back heel. Step into your right leg. Stand up. Lift your knee up. Left knee up. And now cross the left knee over the right knee. And sit down, sit back, wait into the heel. Steady breath. Relax your face. Notice if you're clenching your toes or anything else, just try to relax it. And now slide your left leg down in front of your right leg. Unravel your arms and take your arms over your head. Grab your left wrist this time. Give that arm a gentle pull and bend over to the right side. Soften the back knee. Inhale and come up. And dive forward. Come down slow. Again, back knee soft. You can walk your hands over to the left. Come back to center. Uncross the legs and step the feet out wide and come down for malasana or a squat. So if your knees don't like to bend very deeply, you can stay up higher like this or come into a more traditional malasana, let your hips come down. Press your arms back into your legs and press your legs back into your arms. Now, you can stay here, absolutely. Or if you want to take a little arm balance, you can come into crow pose. I always like to do this one because whether or not, a lot of people say, I can't do arm balances, but this is one you can really, it's easier than you think. So just starting by pressing your knees towards the backs of the arms. You can start here, pick up one foot, and then the other one, or pick up both feet. And now from here, we're going to meet in downward facing dog. So listen, if you're jumping back from crow, you want to jump back to chaturanga, not to plank. So you want to jump back with your elbows bent, or step back to plank. You can certainly take a vinyasa if you want. So a traditional vinyasa, we lower down through chaturanga. Inhale to take a back bend, and then find your way to down dog. So you get to choose how you find your way into that pose. Breathe. Slow everything down. On your inhale, lift your right leg up. And now open up your hips. Stack your right hip on top of your left hip. You can bend your knee, you can circle the foot. And now square your hips again. Draw your knee in towards your chest. And now we're going to step our right foot forward between the hands. And you can always use your right hand to help you get that leg up. Okay? Now hug your thighs together. And when you're ready, when you feel stable, come on up again into a high lunge. Take an inhale and lengthen up, stretch up. And as you exhale, twist to the right. Reach your left arm forward and your right arm back. On your inhale, come back to high lunge. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, high lunge. Twist to the right one more time. This time, inhale to high lunge, and then turn to the left and open up into warrior two pose. So readjust your feet if you need to, so that you've got kind of a straight line running from heel to heel or heel to inner arch of the back foot. We've got the right knee bent. Yeah, okay. Open up through the chest. And we'll add a little bit of flow here. So on your inhale, straighten your right knee and reach your arms up. Your palms can touch. And as you exhale, come back to warrior two. And you can follow your hand with your eyes. Look up, inhale. Another little balance challenge. Exhale, back to warrior two. One more time like that. Inhale. Exhale to warrior two. Now listen, this time straighten the right knee and turn the right toes forward. And as you exhale, slowly dive forward for a wide-legged forward fold. Put your hands down. You can put them on a block, on the mat. Really important here is that you're not locking back. You should be able to quads are active, your muscles are active in your legs. Your weight comes forward a little bit more towards your toes. Kind of relax the head down. On your inhale, high. And as you exhale, bend your right knee. So just do a little bit of inhale, come back to center. And bend your left knee. Exhale. Inhale back to center. Bend the right knee. And bend the left knee. This time, come back to center, bend the right knee, and stay here. So you can stay higher again if your knee is not wanting to bend super deep, that's fine. Or you can come down lower for Skandasana, let the hips come down, that back heel or that right heel will lift. Your toes can flex and point up towards the sky. Take any expression that feels good to you. And now from here, you'll lift your hips up just a little bit first, turn around, pivot, face forward. And we're going to step that left foot in about halfway. You're going to straighten your legs, place your left hand down on a block or on the mat, place your right hand on your sacrum. On your inhale, lift halfway up. And on your exhale, twist to the right for revolved triangle pose. So you want to think about bringing your left hip forward and your right hip back. You can bring your right arm up to the sky if that feels good for your shoulders and your neck. Now you can stay here in a revolved triangle pose. If you want to move into revolved half moon, look down in front of your right foot, shift your weight forward Lift your left leg up. The hips are level. And then begin to twist your spine to the right. Breathe. Again, your right arm might come up. If you really want to challenge, you can bend your left knee and reach back and see if you can grab onto your foot, or at least have the intention of grabbing onto that foot. And then slowly step your left foot all the way to the back of the mat. And we'll take another twist here and a lunge. You can bring that left knee. Let's go ahead and bring that left knee down. And walk your left and take a nice deep twist here and let your left hip come down a little closer to the ground. And maybe grab that left foot with your hand. Take a bind there. And now release the foot if you've got it. Square the hips forward again. And now sit back towards your left heel for half splits. Ardha Hanumanasana. You can take full splits here too. Keep your right knee soft and energetically pull your heel back towards your body. Good. Come forward. Plant your hands. Lift your back knee up and step back into plank. You can take a vinyasa, lower down, chaturanga, up dog or cobra, downward facing dog. Slow down your breath. Feel the rise and the fall of your body as you breathe out and in. Stretch it back. Open up your hips. Stack your left hip on top of your right hip. Maybe bend the knee or circle the foot. Re-extend your leg back behind you. Now come up high on the back toes. Bring your knee towards your chest. Shift your weight forward. Stay high on those back toes and step through. Take a second to establish a strong foundation in your legs and in your hips. And when you're ready, come on up into that high lunge. Strong legs, stretch up, take an inhale, and as you exhale, twist to the left. On your inhale, come back to center, high lunge. Exhale, twist to the left. And do that again, inhale. And exhale, twist. This time, inhale, center, and open up into warrior two pose. Left knee bent, right leg straight. On your inhale, straighten your left knee and press the palms together overhead. As you exhale, come back to warrior two. Inhale, straighten the knee. Look up. Exhale, warrior two. One more time, inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Stay in warrior two, but pick up your right heel and spin it in and come into goddess pose. Breathe. Shoulders down the back. Now see if you can lift up your heels here. Bring your heels down. Bring your hands to your thighs. Squat down just a little bit lower and dip your right shoulder towards your left knee and look back behind you. Come back to center and dip your left shoulder towards your knee. Back to center. Do that one more time. Right shoulder towards left knee. And then left shoulder towards right knee. Start to straighten your legs, turn your toes in, and come back down slowly into hold. And breathe. Exhale, bend your left knee for a lunge. Moving side to side, inhale, back to center. Bend your right knee. Inhale through center, left knee. Back to center, right knee. And this time, come over to the left and stay here. So again, stay high or come down low. Keep that right knee soft. Energetically pull your heel back towards your body. And now lift the hips up a little bit. Spin around. Face forward again. Frame the front foot. Step your back foot in a little bit. Setting up for a revolved triangle. Right hand inside of the left foot. Maybe it goes to a block. Left hand goes to sacrum, back of the hips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist to the left. Left hip back, right hip forward. The left arm might come up. It might not. And you might move this into a balance, into revolved half moon. So if you're doing that, then shift your weight, pick up your right leg. Try to keep the hips level as you twist again to the left. Keep breathing wherever you are. Maybe you go for the foot again, or you just bend the knee and reach back, but don't actually grab onto it. And let's slowly step all the way back. And let's bring the right knee down. Walk your right hand over a little more to the right, and now twist and let that right hip drop down. Breathe. You might bend your right knee and grab your foot. Gently release your foot. Bring the hips back towards the right heel this time for half splits. Come back to your lunge. Plant your hands. Bring your left knee back to meet your right knee and take a child's pose. Walk your hands back towards your hips and roll yourself up so that you're sitting. And And then sit the hips off to the side and swing your legs around in front of you. Scoot yourself down the mat and slowly roll all the way down onto your back. Let's take a spinal twist. So we'll take the knees to the right first. So however you like to take your spinal twist, you can scoot the hips over to the left first and then draw the knees to the right. Extend your left arm out. You might like to cross your legs or straighten out the legs. Stay in your body. Stay with your breath. And slowly release. And take your knees over to the left. Twist to the right. And bring your knees back up. And position yourself so that your hips are flat on the mat. Come into a happy baby pose to finish our practice. Grab onto the outer edges of your feet and just, if you want, you can rock a little bit from side to side. Maybe straighten one leg out and then the other leg. And then find your way into Shavasana, final relaxation pose. Get your shoulders underneath you so that your chest, the chest stays open, the palms face the sky. Relax your whole entire body. Just let it go, let it melt down into the floor. And try to stay present. When your mind wanders, just notice and come back. toes, hands and feet. Stretch your arms up over your head and reach through the entire body, all the way down to the heels. Bend your knees, place your feet flat and roll onto your side.